We're off the farm today visiting Wildflower Cafe in Mentone, Alabama to try some of their famous tomato pie. Hello, Moon.
Oh my gosh, Trace, it's so good to see you.
I am here for some pie.
Oh, well, I'm here to give you some pie and some magic. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Moon showed me around Wildflower Cafe, and then we met the general manager, Alexis, who showed me the ins and outs of making the perfect tomato pie. All right, so tomato pie's y'all's thing.
Yep.
I have a little experience with tomato pie, and I am so excited to hear all about yours. And plus, when someone else is making a tomato pie, that always makes it taste better.
Definitely. It is our staple, so let's get started. So to start, I slice my tomatoes. They'll be about a 1/4 inch thick, and I just take the ends off.
Do you have a preference of tomatoes that you use for your tomato pie?
We use Romas here, and we use probably 8 to 10 per pie.
Okay.
And it's a 9-inch pie shell.
And I think a lot of times when people are making a tomato pie at home, they tend to make the slices sometimes a little too thick, and you don't want to bite into that tomato.
No, I love a thin one. It really marinates and absorbs all of the balsamic we're going to end up adding to it.
I love that little bit of bite the balsamic adds
Yes.
to that little bit of vinegar.
For sure.
And I mean, if there's ever a marriage that's just made perfectly,
Tomatoes
it's tomatoes and
amazing.
balsamic.
Yeah.
The recipe for the tomato pie here at Wildflower Cafe, it's from a customer?
Yeah, so a customer brought in a recipe for it, and the chef at the time made it for her. She said, "Could you make this?" He did, and then he served it to guests. So like his adaptation of it.
Uh-huh.
And then the guests loved it, so we had to have it.
Winner, winner,
Yeah.
tomato dinner.
Yeah, we had to keep it.
And so you're throwing all of your tomatoes in a large container here. What
Yes.
happens next?
After this, I am just going to cover it with our balsamic and then our dried basil.
Gotcha. So you're going to go ahead and impart this with a ton of flavor before you drain it.
Yes.
So dried basil?
Yes, it's
Any
dried
other
basil.
herbs in there?
This is it.
You don't need anything else.
No, it's very
Tomatoes.
simple, which I think sometimes simple recipes, they can be the hardest to execute.
How long do you let these marinate for?
These are gonna marinate for maybe 5 minutes, maybe just under. The balsamic matched with the tomato can be very acidic.
Gotcha.
So if you do it too much, it changes the flavor.
You just want that little bit of
Yes.
perfect.
All right, while these are marinating, we are gonna combine mayonnaise, and this is shredded cheddar and mozzarella.
Oh, I love the mozzarella
Yes.
addition. You know, and I think tomato pies are one of those things where everybody's just like, I'm gonna add this cheese and then I'm gonna add this cheese. And it's really the classic staples that really make it.
Yeah, definitely. And this is probably about 8 cups of cheese to like 2 cups of
My
mayonnaise.
mayo?
Yeah.
So that's a good ratio.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you this, because I ask every tried and true Southerner. Is there a certain mayo that you use for your pie? Are you
Now it's
loyal?
a secret which mayo we're using. Yes.
Most of them are secrets.
Yeah, definitely.
The mayo's always the one under lock and key.
Yeah.
And you don't add anything else in here, no seasonings or anything.
No, sir. So this looks pretty good right now.
Fluffy.
It's fluffy, but it's like just like coming together to form a paste. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
Because the filling's next second most important thing,
Yeah.
other than the tomatoes.
The dough. Oh,
The
the
dough.
dough.
We'll flip a coin.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right, so
Ready.
5 minutes is up.
Yes, sir. So now we are going to strain off the balsamic from our tomatoes.
All right. Woo! That is some balsamic there.
Oh, yeah. And I try to get all of these tomatoes out just to make sure that the balsamic has drained. That way it doesn't affect the crust at all. It doesn't become soggy.
You don't want no slop pie.
Nope.
I'm gonna try a little
Yeah,
bite.
definitely.
Perfect amount of time.
Good, 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 good.
Delish. All right, now comes the assembling part.
Yes.
And you're preheating your oven to, what are we gonna bake this at?
We bake this at 400 for about 10 minutes.
Okay, so
to
you
par bake it.
You par baked
yes.
it, yeah. Did you do any kind of holes in this or no?
We didn't.
Okay.
We just want nice golden color on this. That way it's not soaking up the balsamic or any of the juices that are being released from the tomatoes. It stays nice and firm.
And crunchy, just how we want it.
Yes.
So now's the big question. Do you put a layer of tomatoes at the bottom or do you start with a layer of the
Tomatoes
So tomatoes,
first.
okay.
Tomatoes first. We're gonna do a big pile of tomatoes just to the top of the crust,
Just to the top,
Just to the
okay. That is so pretty already.
right?
All that flavor's imparted in there. It's like they're screaming, eat me. And tons of basil too.
Yes. I love the combination of the balsamic and the like melty cheese at the end.
You had me at melty cheese.
Right.
You do a ample layer of
Yes.
tomatoes.
Yeah, we don't want it to be wimpy.
And you know, I'm in my kitchen like layering each tomato. Just gonna
Alrighty.
throw them in there from now on.
After that, we're gonna do the cheese.
The cheese topping?
Yes.
I'm gonna put on my gloves. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
help
help?
smear it
Yeah.
around. Smear it. All right, so now comes our filling, right?
Yes.
Or our topping. Yours is
The
more of a
cheese.
topping.
Yes.
And do you
So-
just go right in and just plop a big old plop on there?
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, look at that. The beautiful cheese
Yes.
footage.
I just
Is that good or keep layering?
keep going.
And I like how you smush it down with your hands
Yes.
too.
I
It's
want
like
it
the
to get in those crevices,
yeah, and smush all that.
and we're gonna go all the way.
All the
to
way,
The
okay.
crust. Yep.
Oh
So
wow.
all of those tomatoes are
All
sealed.
covered.
Yep.
Oh, one little more right there. I saw a little red.
And then this is gonna go into the oven maybe 10 minutes
Okay.
until the cheese is melted and like golden brown.
And ooey gooey,
Yes.
bubbling. This looks so good.
Thank you.
Let's let it cool a little bit. Meet you at the table and we'll slice it up.
Sounds great.
All right, so we've made it to the table with our pie. It's almost the crowning moment
Right.
when we get to take a bite. But first, what's your tips and tricks on cutting a pie? And especially tomato pie, because you know.
I think a sharp knife.
Sharp
to
knife.
cut through the crust, through the tomatoes. That way you're not like pulling tomatoes out or anything.
You don't want to lose
So,
one.
No, definitely not.
I love how fluffy that is. It's like cutting
Yes.
into a cloud of cheese.
We do quarter slices. We also do offer a 4-inch tart.
Oh, I love the tarts.
Yes.
My favorite part of any pie is like the end part where the crust is. And
Yeah.
I love the tarts because
The
it's
crunchy
all
crust.
crunch.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Look at that big quarter pie there. Beautiful. It's perfect. Look at that. This is just mine, right?
Just for you.
Just
and
you?
then we're going to top it with a little Parmesan.
I like the toppings
Yes.
too. Just that
And a
little bit of
little bit
extra
of
of
parsley.
nuttiness.
Yes,
And
definitely.
I love the herbs on top too
Gotta have it.
because gotta have the herbs.
Yeah.
This is my first tomato pie of the season.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
My tomatoes are just starting to come in,
Right.
so
Cheese
you know when a
pull.
cheese pulls that pull. It's everything you want in a tomato pie.
Right?
Tomato flavor, herb flavor,
The balsamic.
got the balsamic bite. I just want to live in that
I
pie.
love the melty cheese.
Melty cheese. I can have another tomato. I know why you're famous for your tomato pie now.
Yep. Nothing better.
Cheers. All right, we're gonna finish this pie up and I'll meet you out on the porch and we'll learn a little bit more about Wildflower Cafe from the woman herself. We're sitting here on the porch of Wildflower Cafe, just rocking away with the woman herself, Moon, the brains behind Wildflower Cafe. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
So tell me a little history of Wildflower Cafe.
Well, the building that we're serving food out of was built in 1887. And Wildflower Cafe started on the back porch of the hitching post that burned down. A lady named Margaret Baker was the original brains behind it. She wanted to have a little coffee shop. She decided she didn't want to do it anymore and asked me if I wanted to buy it. So I kept the name. I kept the tomato pie, which was born out of a Southern Living recipe.
A Southern Living recipe.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the inspiration behind the pie.
Yeah, so there was a lady named Cindy Tyson that brought the tomato pie into the chef at the time, and he made the tomato pie and he served it to guests before she could ever come back, and the guests loved it so much there was no pie left when she came, so he had to make her another pie, and then it became a staple on the
Instant
Wildflower
hit.
menu. Yeah.
I love the menu at Wildflower Cafe because it's pretty extensive and it's also diverse. I love how you have an emphasis on locally grown produce.
I work with local farmers when I can, and so when I can get local produce, I do. We go through about 75 to 100 pounds of Roma tomatoes per week, so we have not found a local farm that can manage that.
That's a big old tomato patch right
That's
there.
a big tomato patch.
So what's been one of your favorite memories through the years here at Wildflower Cafe?
Tony Goggins was here one day, and he is a...
Well,
What the heck?
I wonder if it would have made a sound if we were not here.
Tony Goggins, he's a strolling troubadour in town, and he has this sense, intuitive sense when he would go up to people. And so I would sing with him when he would play guitar. And so he went up to somebody and he said, you know, Moon, I think we need to play them a song. And so he suggested You Send Me. And so I started singing You Send Me with Tony, and the woman started breaking down in tears, and that was the song that they had sang at their wedding, and they were here on their anniversary, and he had no idea.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big, yeah, and they've come back since and said, do you remember singing You Send Me? And so that was really special.
And then a tree fell as we were talking about it. I got goosebumps now. Can you sing a little bit of it for me?
Let's see. I know you send me, darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do. That was about as good as you're gonna get right now.
That is so good. Way better than
Darling,
me.
you thrill me.
Perfect, beautiful. Well, on that note, I'll be on my way. Thanks so
right.
much for having us.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for the
coming.
tunes, the tomato
Yeah.
pie, and the good company.
All right, good times, thank you.
We'll be back.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. I'll meet y'all out on the porch. I don't know. Meet y'all out there. See ya.
Okay, I won't rock.
I've already been told I cannot. Good. This is the hardest part, doing the walk-ups. We look like we're in our bridal photos right now.
No.